Look at this. Swiggy lost 200 and 350 crores last year. Just went public anyway. Byju's, once valued at $22 billion, now literally worth zero. Insolvency. Physicswala lost 243 crores, listed a few days back. And Pine Labs lost 145 crores, listed. But here's where it gets interesting. Zomato made 351 crores profit first time ever. Grow made 1824 crores profit, listed at $9 billion a few days back. Lenskart made profit, though we need to talk about that one. November 2025, 4 massive IPOs in just 2 weeks. Grow, Lenskart, Physicswala, Pine Labs. Some are making money, some are burning cash. All of them are worth billions. So what's actually happening there? Are Indian startups finally growing up, or is this just another bubble waiting to burst? Come, let's find out. So 2 weeks ago, I had 4 different IPO listing ceremonies open on my screen at the same time. November 12th, Group goes public, stock jumps 29%. November 10th, Lenskart lists, opens low, recovers. November 18th, Physicswala debuts, muted response. November 14th, Pine Lab lists, tepid. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, the startup winter is over. The survivors are going public. This is good news, right? But then I did what I always do. I went digging into numbers, downloaded their annual reports, read through the fine print, talked to some people in the industry, and what I found tells a much more complicated story. Here's what's wild. Half of these companies are actually making money. Real sustainable profit. Grow made 1824 crores. That's insane for a fintech that's only 9 years old. Lenskart turned profitable this year, but the other half still bleeding cash. Physicswala lost 243 crores. Pine Labs and this company has been around for 27 years, still lost 145 crores. And yet, all 4 just raised hundreds of millions of dollars from public investors. All 4 are worth billions. So which story is the real one? Here's the big picture. Let me zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about these 4 companies. This is about a 10-year experiment in India. An experiment that asked, can you copy the Amazon playbook? Can you burn billions of dollars to kill competition, dominate your market, and then become profitable? For a decade, that's what everyone was trying. Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Paytm, Byju's, all of them raised massive amount of money, used it to subsidize everything. Remember 2021? You could get food delivered cheaper than eating at the restaurant. Cabs for just $20. Free Byju's tablets for every kid. That money came from foreign investors. SoftBank, Tiger Global, Sequoia, all betting that one of these companies would become the next Amazon. But then something broke. 2022, the US Federal Reserve starts raising interest rates from 0% to 5.5% in just 18 months. Why does that matter for Indian startups? Because suddenly those foreign investors could get 4 to 5% returns from safe US bonds. Why gamble on money losing Indian startups? The funding dried up fast. 2021, 36 billion flowing into Indian startups. 2023, 10.8 billion, a 70% crash. And that's when we found out who was actually building real businesses versus who was just burning investor money. So let's start with the success stories, because honestly, they are pretty inspiring. Grow, the smart one. November 12, 2025, Grow lists on the stock market, opens at 112 rupees, closes at 128.85, up 29% on day 1. Market cap $9 billion. Here's the financial year 2025 numbers. Revenue of 3,900 crores. Profit of 1,800 crores. Wait, let me say that again. Profit of 1,824 crores. That's a 47% profit margin for a fintech company in India. How did they do this? They never followed the subsidy playbook. While everyone else was giving away free trades and cashbacks, Groww charged reasonable fees from day one. They focused on mutual funds and stock broking, boring, profitable businesses. And here's the kicker. They are backed by Y Combinator and they are the first YC startup from India to go public. The stock jumped 29% because investors loved seeing actual profits. Imagine that. Next is Zomato, the comeback kid. Okay, Zomato's story is more complicated. For years, they were poster child of burning money. Lost 971 crores in financial year 2023 alone. Everyone thought they'll never make it. Then, financial year 2024 hits. They make 351 crores profit first time ever. The media went crazy. Zomato proves the model works. Indian startups can be profitable. But here's what happened next. By third quarter of financial year 2023, their profits dropped by 57% to just 59 crores. Why? Because they are doing it all over again. They are putting money into Blinkit, their 10-minute grocery delivery business, opening dark stores everywhere, subsidizing deliveries. They proved they could be profitable. Then they chose to burn cash again, chasing the next big thing. Lenskart, the complicated one. November 10, Lenskart lists. Opens below IPO price, recovers to close slightly above. Financial year 2025 revenue of 6,600 crores, profit of 297 crores. Sounds good, right? Finally a profitable eyewear company going public. But here's what most people don't know, that 297 crore profit includes a 167 crore one-time gain from their acquisition of Owndays. It's an accounting entry, not a real cash. Real operation profit about 130 crores. Still profit, but much smaller. The company itself admitted in their IPO documents, the financial year 2025 profit is significantly and artificially inflated. For valuation, you need to normalize by excluding this one-time gain. They are being honest about it, which I respect. But it means their profit margin is actually around 2%, not 4.5%. Still, they're moving in the right direction and they are doing something smart. They manufacture their own products. They're not just a platform burning cash. They're a real manufacturing business with actual margins. Now let's talk about the ones who aren't making money. Swiggy, the eternal burner. November 2024, Swiggy goes public, raises $1.35 billion. Financial 2024 revenue of 11,247 crores, loss of 2,350 crores. That's not a typo. 2,350 crores in losses. And by quarter 3, financial 2025, losses actually widened to 799 crores from 574 crores the previous quarter. The market noticed. Stock fell below IPO price within months. Investors wanted profitability. Swiggy gave them more expansion, more competition with Zomato, more cash to burn. Next is PhysicsWallah. November 18, PhysicsWallah list raises $400 million. Financial year 2025 revenue of 339 crores, loss of 243 crores. Now, before you write them off, that loss is actually down 78% from last year, 1,131 crores. They are improving fast and they're EBITDA positive, meaning they're making operational profit before depreciation and interest. But they're expanding aggressively, opening 300 plus offline centers across India, acquiring competitors like Utkarsh Classes. The jury's still out. Will they reach profitability before running out of money? Or will expansion costs keep them in the red? Next is Pine Labs. November 14th, Pine Lab lists, raises $440 million. Financial year 2025 revenue of 2327 crores, loss of 145 crores. Pine Labs was founded in 1998, that's 27 years ago, and they are still not profitable. Yes, they turned a small profit in first quarter of financial 2026, 4.79 crores, but that included a 9.64 crore tax credit. Without that accounting entry, they'd still be losing money. The market was skeptical. The IPO got a muted response. Grey market premium dropped to zero. And then there is Byju's, the cautionary tale everyone points to. 2022 valued at a $22 billion, most valuable Indian startup ever. 2024 crashed to $1 billion. July 2024 insolvency proceedings begin. October 2024 founder says its net worth is zero. They sold assets for pennies. Epic bought for $500 million, sold for $95 million. Tanker bought for $200 million, sold for $2.2 million. Major investor Prosus wrote off their entire stake, called it a total loss. The most valuable startup of the 2021 boom completely wiped out. So, what's the pattern here? Why did some companies survive while others collapsed? Let me show you the playbook everyone was following. It's called blitzscaling. Phase 1. Subsidize heavily to hook users. Phase 2. Use funding to outlast competitors. Phase 3. Achieve market dominance. Phase 4. Raise prices and become profitable. This worked for Amazon. It worked for Uber. They lost billions, then dominated, then became profitable. The winners, Groww, Zomato, Lenskart, either skipped the subsidy game entirely or successfully reached phase 4. The losers, Swiggy, Byju's, old school Pine Labs got stuck between phase 2 and 3. They burned cash but never achieved enough dominance to raise prices. But here's the deeper question. Why doesn't this playbook work as well in India? So I went through the research from IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad, ISB Hyderabad, and there is a consistent theme. First reason, Indian consumers are extremely price sensitive. The moment you raise prices, they leave. Loyalty is low, price is the king. When Zomato tried raising prices and adding platform fees, customers immediately started complaining. Food delivery isn't Netflix where you'll pay $15 a month no matter what. Reason 2, competition is relentless. For every Zomato, there is Swiggy. For every Blinkit, there is Zepto. For every Ola, there is an Uber. You can't kill the competition because new ones keep popping up. And they're all willing to burn cash too. Reason 3, regulation blocks monopolies. The Indian government won't let you become Amazon. They block monopolies in e-commerce, food delivery, payments. So most companies get stuck. They burn cash to gain market share, but can't convert that into pricing power. For the last 10 years, the playbook was simple. Raise money, subsidize everything, kill competition. Dominate, become profitable. It was funded by cheap global capital looking for the next Amazon. When money was free, everyone tried it. When rates hit 5.5%, reality hit. Now rates are coming down again at 3.75% to 4%. Funding is returning up 41% in first quarter of 2025. But the ecosystem has completely changed permanently. Investors want profits, not promises. They want clear paths to profitability, sustainable business models. The 13 startups that went public in 2024, the 4 that are listed in November 2025, they all have something in common. They either are profitable or they're clearly trending towards profitability. The free lunch is ending. For us as consumers, that means higher prices, fewer discounts, platform fees everywhere. But it also means the survivors are building real businesses, sustainable businesses that can weather downturns. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think these startups will survive the next few years? See you in the next one.